Okay, welcome back to the flipped class. Today we're going to start talking about decimals. Okay, we've talked about fractions all throughout the year. We talked about fractions, introducing them, adding them, subtracting them, doing all kinds of things with them, simplifying them. Then we talked about fractions for measurement, and now we're going to take it a step further and look at decimals, which are very closely related to fractions. Let's jump right into it. Okay, think about the last time you bought something. All right, it probably did not end up costing like $4 even, or any other even amount, right? Of course, there was change. Doesn't matter if you went to McDonald's, if you bought something from the grocery store, it probably wasn't $4 or $5. Maybe, but probably not. Okay? Change goes to the right of what we call a decimal point. Okay? Such as in this example, $4.58. Well, you have the $4, which is in the ones place, because it's four $1 bills. You have our decimal point, and then you have 58 cents. Okay? The 58 cents is the decimal. It's past the decimal. Okay? What are decimals? Well, they are a fraction of the whole. So in this example, 58 cents is 58 hundredths, okay? Because 100 cents are in a whole dollar, right? So 58 of the 100, that's the fraction. 58 cents out of 100 cents would be the whole, okay? Decimals have their own place value, which we're going to look at right now. Okay? Remember how we use place value, okay? We say the number and then the place value, okay? For example, 129,408. Okay? We say it, and then we say the place value. 129, just like it's written. And then we say the thousands period. So 129,000, and then 408. Okay? The 1 in this number, 129,408, the 1 is worth 100,000 because it's in the hundred thousands place. Okay? And the 4, which is right here, is worth 400 because it's in the hundreds place, and so on and so forth, okay? Decimals have their very own place value, and this is kind of what it looks like right here, okay? This is 29 and 34 hundredths, okay? Or 29.34, okay? 29 is the whole number. This is the decimal point, okay? It's just the dot that separates the whole number from the decimal or the fraction of the whole, okay? 29 decimal point. The 3 in this case is the tenths, all right? If you remember, as we go left, we get larger, okay, past the decimal point. You have ones, tens, hundreds. When you go to the right, okay, you're getting smaller, tenths, and hundredths, okay? And that's all we're going to worry about as far as this year. You're going to learn more and more as we go on. We're going to worry about tenths and hundredths. The 3 is in the tenths place. 4 is in the hundreds place, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about that as we go. Okay? If you look, 29.3, okay? Well, it's just the same as when we said 129,000, except what you do here is you say 29 and, because we know that the decimal point is and because it's separating the whole number, and then you have your decimal, your fraction, okay? 3 tenths. 29 and 3 tenths. So I'm saying the whole number, the decimal means I say and, there's a 3 and it's in the tenths place. Not the hundreds place, but the tenths place. So I say 29 and 3 tenths. I read the number and then I say what place value it is. 3 tenths. Okay? In this example, 37 and 54 hundredths. Okay? Now you're saying, why is that 54 hundredths? Well, you have 37 and my decimal point. And then you have 54, which you read, and the last place value it takes up is that 4 is in the hundredths place. And I want to make sure I'm saying that with the TH. Tenths, hundredths, okay, not tens or hundreds. Those are different place values altogether, okay? So 37 and 54 hundredths, okay? Let's do a couple of examples together. We're going to put the values in their correct place value, and we have this little chart, which you'll see something very similar in class, okay? I have my tens and my ones. This blank spot is where what goes? Well, as you can guess, it's the decimal point, okay? I'll fill that in there, okay? And then I have my tenths and my hundredths, okay? Number we're going to look at first, 29 and 74 hundredths, okay? Well, the 2 is in the tens place, so that represents 20. So I'm going to say that there are 2 tens, there are 9 ones. They have their decimal right there. I have my decimal right here. They have a 7 in the tenths place value, and they have a 4 in the hundredths place value. Okay? So you can see how it breaks down. this number, 29 and 74 hundredths, coincides with the different place values on both sides of the decimal point, okay? Let's go down one. 92 and 63 hundredths, okay? The 9 is in the tens place value. I'm going to put my 9 there. Excuse me, the 2 is in the ones place value. I'm going to put my 2 there. This empty space, that's where that decimal goes, okay? If you forget the decimal or you move it around, you know, it's not going to be right. It's not going to be the right number. It's not going to be the same number. I have 6 tenths, right? Remember, it goes tenths, hundredths, okay? 6 tenths, 3 hundredths, all right? And we've got our handy-dandy chart, 92 and 63 hundredths, because the last place value that you see is in the hundredths, okay? Down here, I'll move this out of the way, I actually wrote this out, okay? 24 and 6 tenths, okay? Well, 24, we know what that looks like. 24. My 2 is in my tens place value. My 4 is in my ones place value. And since it has that and, that's your key word that you know, 24 and 6 tenths, the and represents the decimal point. Okay, so the and separates the whole number and then the fraction of the whole number, or the whole number and the decimal. Okay? In this case, I have 24 and 6 tenths. Okay? I'm going to put my 6 here. I don't have any hundredths. It doesn't say 6 hundredths. What you can do, and we'll get into this a little bit more, first of all, that would be my number. 24 and 6 tenths. 24.6. Okay? If you wanted to put a 0 there, is that still right? Is that still 24 and 6 tenths? Okay? Sort of. What it is it's equivalent. When you think about equivalent fractions, this represents the same thing because we don't have any hundreds, so we can put a 0 there. And we'll get into that a little bit more later on. If you have any questions about fractions, about decimals or how they relate to fractions, bring them to class tomorrow. What I want to do is put this screen up, and if you would bring me these 4 decimals just written out. So all you're going to do is bring me a paper with 4 numbers written out. They'll all have a decimal point. If you could do that, you can pause it, you can rewind it to take a peek at it. Bring that tomorrow and we'll check that out. Thanks for watching.